It's just Lena.
It's your boy D.
I'm sorry. We're tuning in a homeroom with smooth. Class is now in session.
All right, y'all. So look, welcome to the Homeroom with Smooth podcast. This is episode number 239. Euphoria is over. All right. So unfortunately, we're gonna go over the unfortunate passing of one of the castmates on one of the crew members, excuse me. Well, cast members. That's really what I meant to say of Euphoria. We're gonna go over Drake, you know what I'm saying, finding this legendary 36L size bra, which is kind of crazy to me. I mean, I could put my whole head in that bra. And then and then on top of that, we're gonna go through man, what was the other thing? Because I am terrible at this. What was the other thing we talked about?
Wasn't me. I was too busy drinking.
No, we
Um,
dude, come
how
on.
you forget what y'all here? Come on now.
The
You know
Now
what
I
it is?
can't remember. Now I can't remember, and I had it in my brain. I can't remember now.
That's
Um,
crazy.
hold
I'm
on,
sure
give me
it'll
a
come
second.
to us. There's plenty of things we talk about. Plenty of things.
Because
Uh,
you had it, we never agreed to. Oh, they cloned Tyrone.
yeah, there we go. We there we go. Yeah, and we're gonna talk about that clone Tyrone. Bet. All right. So without further ado, uh the unfortunate passing of I want to get this young man's name right. Let me pull that clip back. Let me pull that back up. All right, so of Euphoria star Angus Cloud, okay, he has passed away at 25. So unfortunately, he recently lost his dad the week before. They just buried him. Um and he passed away at his family home in Oakland. And this is the actor. Um, his mother recently had called in and over called in for like an overdose type deal, but you know what I'm saying, that hasn't been confirmed. That's like a rumor that she called in. It hasn't been fully confirmed. But I do want to get you guys' thoughts on like someone losing their life at 25. Like that's and being at the top of essentially life. You know what I'm saying? Because he was definitely going to get more roles after that because he killed that.
Um, yeah. Well, one, I want to say rest in peace. That's so sad. 25 seems so young to me, at least. I feel like 25 is just when I really started living. As an adult.
Right.
Um, and to see, well, one, I'm a huge Euphoria fan, and he nailed the hell out of his character. He was an amazing actor. Like, I'm
Hmm.
one of those actors when you watched it and you saw him off the carpet. I mean, off the show, you forgot that he wasn't acting anymore because really turned into that character.
Hmm.
Um, one thing I always like to say is that everybody has a plan when they come to Earth. Everyone has a destiny. So perhaps he came to fulfill what he was supposed to do, even though he left us very young.
Hmm.
25. That's just wow. Um,
A
it's
quarter.
very sad. I know it's developing situation, so we will know more about it. Kind of what you said earlier, that maybe an overdose. So it just means no matter where you are in life, people struggle. Whether it's addiction, demons, other things are going through stuff. So I just want to say, reach out and to your loved ones and your friends, and just be a overall good person, because you don't know who needs
Hmm.
what and who's going through what. And I know it's kind of like lip service because everybody says it now too. Like you don't know what someone else is going through, but you seriously don't know what someone else is going through. So it's like, treat somebody how you literally would want to be treated. And I think that's just the biggest things, and be there for people, because you never know. One, if it's your loved ones, you never know when it's going to be the last time you see them. And then
Yep.
two, it's just with people. It's like you could be the difference for someone being here tomorrow or not.
That's facts. That's cold hard facts. And yeah, I definitely want to give my condolences to the family. But I guess to segue over to the show, like, do you guys think the show is over? Like, because I don't. They already said they had to push it back to 2026. Should they just end here? Should they just call it?
Well, I can tell you he was a huge character in the show. I personally, once they said, before this even happened, when they said it wasn't coming out till 2026, me and my friends already said I probably won't even know what Euphoria is anymore by the time 2026 comes around. Like, and it's the show is so good that you don't want to wait 3 years for another season. Like, that's one of those kind of shows you got to keep it coming out.
Hmm.
And I know a lot of shows are doing like a year gap, but 3 years is a little too much. And now
Yeah.
that his huge part is going to be out of the show, I don't see how that's going to work. I don't see them at least having the same fan base. I don't even know if I'm going to be into that kind of show anymore in 3 years.
Um, I think it depends. If they want to call it now, I wouldn't blame them, and because of course when that happens, it does affect the castmates as well too. Because if I go back to even to the Fast and Furious series when Paul Walker passed, that kind of even finishing what was already finished already, it took him a while to get that done. I do think um I do think TV is changing, and with shows getting canceled coming back, and then people waiting and how everything is binge worthy now, and we're watching a lot of content at home, I don't think a 3 year gap would be a death sentence. I think it is a little long, definitely, but I don't think it'll be a death sentence, and it'll get people because you could reach a new fan base and try to bring other people back in too. So I
Hmm.
think if they have people that are smarter than me, forecasting this stuff out there, and if they think they could do it, I'm not going to tell them that they can't do it, especially with the current climate of TV. So I don't think the show is dead if they want to push on. But if they called it quits, I could definitely see them doing it now. But especially with how everything ended as well too, they probably would want like a natural wrap up anyway, as well. So that might happen as well too. And it might be shorter than 2026. They could say, hey, you know what? We're just gonna get this out of the way. When we're ready in 2025, it's the ending of Euphoria.
Yeah, I feel like honestly they should probably do like a special, what I'm saying, put a nice little bow on it, what I'm saying, give some characters like some closure, and then just call it one shot, one episode, one special, that's it. Knock it out and be done.
Yeah.
I think that's probably their best bet. Once the strike and all that is over, I think that's their best bet because at shows like that, when you have characters that are basically essential to like how the other characters interact with each other as well, like it's just not going to be the same. Like you would have to replace what his character does with somebody else, and then people are just going to criticize that the entire time. It's going to feel like forced or like some corporate money grab, and people are just not going to like it. So I think the most tasteful thing to do would be like a wrap up special, just close a couple storylines and leave a few kind of ambiguous, you know what I'm saying, for like clout sake, and then just call it a day.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. Wow. So to segue over into man, that
Japan
is
is a
such
lot.
a it's such a fucking heavy ass topic, bro. Like
It is.
there's cause man, yeah. Anyway, it's just that's a tough thing to segue from.
But it shows that
So
you care though, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
yeah. So the next topic is I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch, but I enjoyed watching They Clone Tyrone. Like, you know, shout out to all the people that watched the show and didn't go to sleep. That's an insider, little insider. Um
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
yeah, so what you think, Shar? What you think of the show?
Man. Okay, so I watched it last night and I had been hearing about it, but I wasn't really paying attention to like the commentary on it. Because I'm one of them people like until I've watched something, I don't want to see spoilers. And so one of my friends said she watched it and she was like, it was really deep. And so I was on Netflix yesterday and I saw, you know how like when you get on there, Netflix pushes you to watch stuff and they show you a little clip. And
Mm-hmm.
watching the clip, I was like, this looks interesting. So I turned it on and immediately I was hooked. And um immediately I understood there was like a meaning, like a lot of symbolism, a lot of deeper meaning to this movie.
Hmm.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was very well written, but also one of those
Hmm.
movies you have to pay attention to, because if you don't pay attention, like a lot of stuff goes over your head. And I
Yeah.
still feel like I understood the entire meaning while watching the movie, but I'm pretty sure there's certain scenes or certain stuff I missed that they were sending a message through, and it went over my head. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely gonna have to watch the movie again to catch some stuff that I missed. But I think it was phenomenal. It was very well written and very well thought out. The storyline was amazing. The meanings behind it, like I'll wait until y'all say what what you want to say to until we get to the actual meanings that I picked up on in the
Yeah.
movie. Anyway.
Um, I'm gonna say I was blessed enough to actually I saw this in theaters. So
Oh,
Oh, that's fire.
okay.
That's fire. That's
um
fire.
John Boyega, it's probably my guilty pleasure actor. That no, he's really good, and plus and Jamie Foxx in there, so cast was great.
Pause.
Ah, but anyway, yeah, Jamie Foxx is always good. So definitely, I kind of at first it's really weird because it brought me to and it's a totally different movie, but Sweato premise of it. Do you remember The Island? So
Mm-mm.
it's Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson. They're in the movie too. So like I said, totally different movie, but it brought me up with that because it dealt with cloning as well too. And
Mm.
so that's why it brought me to that. So with me after the movie, it kind of brought me up into the whole just moral discussion of cloning. And it's like it's happening. People don't know, like, and even the characters in the movie, they don't know about it, and then they find out, and then they're dealing with that dilemma as well too. So kind of what Char said, like I do want to see it again just to grasp more into it, just to have that discussion and see what I missed. But definitely without going in there, I liked I would probably say out of all the movies that I've seen, because I've watched a lot of movies this year because the good old AMC A list right now, so I'm just watching every movie I can. I put an upper in. It is one of my favorites. I love the cinematography in it as well too, and it actually
Yeah.
shows that Netflix is coming. I know Amazon's coming as well too, so it shows that these studios, they are going with this original content. And it goes into what we were talking about earlier, or just how movies as we know it, it's changing, and this movie epitomizes that. Like it's funny because I saw it in theaters, but the majority of people didn't. So if it gets the fan base and just the respect that it deserves, and people go and watch it, it does show that people, you don't need to go into you don't need to watch a movie in a theater. You can have a big budget movie at home, or just a deep movie. I'm storytelling at home. It kind of it switches that the dichotomy.
Yeah, and I also think, like, if they can prove that they can release those in theaters, just to continue on that point before I get my point on the actual movie itself, then they can actually make more money on it, and they kind of go like the Disney Plus model,
Mhm.
where they kind of release in theaters and then they add it to their service, or you know what I'm saying, or the Universal route, or all the other streaming services, because a lot of those movies they release first and then they put it on their streaming service after. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So they're
The Little
solely.
Mermaid is already on Amazon Prime.
Well, no, but because the thing is too, which I learned during the pandemic, which is this what goes into it. A lot of movie companies, if they release it straight to and have people buy it, I mean, you take out the middleman, they make more profits of just releasing certain movies straight to video than putting it in theater, and then dealing with the chains as well too. And I think that's what Netflix bringing this original content, bringing them back. And I am excited for Netflix because it's one of the stronger streaming services. And now they're working on original content. And if you see like what they got too, because that's it, they got Jamie Foxx, Boyega, they had Ryan Reynolds doing stuff. They had the thing, because before it was like, oh, Netflix, when they want big budget actors, they were only doing Adam Sandler. But now you see them going, and they're pulling people from big budget budget actors because
Yeah.
they got, because they're getting everybody. Because they got Ryan Reynolds, they got they got they had The Rock for they brought in The Rock, they got Jamie Foxx, Gal
Chris
Gadot.
Hemsworth.
Yeah, so they're getting all these people that show that, hey, Netflix isn't the only place to, or sorry, the movies isn't the only place for these big budget actors to make a lot of money. And then the other thing too is that it's part of the reason why they're doing this strike right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Chris. Yeah. Yeah, but so to give my opinions on the actual movie itself. So what I feel about the movie is simply like this. Like I feel like it was literally like a so first of all, I guess I'll say this. I enjoyed the movie. Yes, I
Mhm.
enjoyed the movie. I found it very funny. Parts of it towards the very beginning were a bit creepy. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like hell. It was like I was like, I don't know which direction this movie's going. Like I don't know if it's going funny or super serious. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know where they're going with it. But then once it got going, I said, oh, this is great. You know what I'm saying? Had one of my favorite actors of all time in there, Kiefer Sutherland, because I watched 24 growing up. So like I watched every season. So that dude was in my house and in my college dorm the entire time, like every
Pause.
season. Jesus Christ. Okay, you got me. You got me. You got me. Ah, no, but seriously, no, my God. But anyway, no, but like I enjoyed the characters for the surface level, but then when you get on the deeper levels of, you know what I'm saying, of like I felt like John Boyega and his relationship with his mom, they kind of like made me question like what is proper, like what is a proper like parental relationship. And then when you look at you know what I'm saying, Jamie Foxx as the pimp, it then goes like, well, like man, that's not necessary. That's really a like a cold hard lifestyle, you know what I'm saying, especially like how the girls are living. And you seen how the girl was trying to like better herself and become a better person, you know what I'm saying, and go different places outside of the hood that she grew up in. She had bigger dreams than that. And then it also showed like towards the end there how like having a bigger dream, you know what I'm saying, through working with other people, you can get them to buy into it, and then y'all can get outside of the hood together. You know what I'm saying? And it took the whole hood coming together to get those people out of the hood. You know what I'm saying? Like if the once the community came together, they were able to heal themselves and actually like be better. You know what I'm saying? Than what it was, and actually come together and actually get the government out of there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that wouldn't have been possible if they were still beefing the whole time.
But
So
that goes with
also,
the ending though too, which is when I saw. But go ahead, Char. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I want to say, can we also focus on the other messages of the government controlling Black people
Oh,
and
I was
wanting
gonna get
That's
into
the
that.
part I
I
was
was gonna
going
get,
at too. With that
yeah,
the
yeah, I was
ending.
going.
and wanting all of our talents and our knowledge, but not really wanting us, so to speak. It was so much
Yeah,
blatant, like,
Well, yeah, because they said assimilation's better than annihilation, but the problem was I don't think it wasn't the government choosing because of Black people. It was saying that because of and it's weird. So I know I'm phrasing this wrong, but there's always going to be division with people who don't look alike. So they're saying, hey, let's keep the majority and freaking let's whitewash these Black people to create peace. And it's so, but then it goes on to, and like I don't even get strike, but it goes on to freaking what Germany was doing in World War II when they're trying to breed like the Aryan race. Like it's freaking like that's why I was like, it was
and then
crazy.
how they were putting that the white crack or whatever it was in the chicken and the perm. I interpreted them as like, you know how like if you look up the top consumer of hair products of chicken, it's Black people. We
Mhm.
we buy the most stuff and we put into the highest sales in this country, and then we're some of the poorest people. It was just so many meanings in this movie.
Yes,
yeah,
I kept watching like,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
why I want to
And
watch it again.
the fact of like, you know what I'm saying, like the fact that they made it where the fried chicken, you associated it with happiness. You know what I'm saying, and
yeah,
laughter and having a good time. Like they literally like were literally like programming you. Like the
Mhm.
part that stood out to me though with the programming stuff was the music. Like when they were in
Yeah,
that club, like and like how they were saying like the music really our music
Mhm.
it's not really meant for us. Like the stuff that's getting pushed for us is not meant for us. It's not good for us. Like
yeah,
it doesn't help push our culture forward. Like
Mhm.
it's not doing anything good for us. Like that stood out to me because I'm like, man, I'm like, because in its programming, like they're like, we could put anything in the song and we can then get you to do it because it's in the song.
Yep.
yeah, yeah. Music is powerful, and you got to be. Sometimes you do have to. If if you're able to listen to music and understand that, like, hey, I'm just listening to it, that's okay. But sometimes if you listen to stuff so much, like you do start consuming it. Like I was listening to some song the other day. Well, it popped up on my playlist, and the first thing he said was murder on my mind every day. And I changed that shit like immediately. I was like, no, because I don't want to be listening to something that's talking about murdering somebody. And I don't want to be conditioned to listen to, like
It's murder. You don't like Ja Rule?
I'm
Murder.
not, my point is like music does have a lot of music is very powerful, and there was a lot of deep, like I said, I have to watch this movie again because there
Yo,
was
trust me.
so
Yeah,
much
like I.
in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I agree.
then I do agree
Mm,
with you when you said Smooth, when you said at one point you were like, where is this movie going? Because it was also, although it's very deep, it was also, there was so many parts that were so weird that like
Yeah.
I had to remind myself that this movie has a meaning behind it.
mhm.
But if you get too wrapped up in the storyline, you're like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like what Smooth said, you're trying to figure out where it goes, and it's like, okay, is it light? And I think because you're going in there too, but I think it's also because which I thought was good as well too. At least when I saw it, there was really no marketing, so I went in it cold.
Hmm.
So I had no base to go on there, so whether I'm just gonna sit at this movie and see where it goes too. So
Yeah, and
so since there was no preconceived notions of what it was gonna be, and it's like the title, and even like the title and the poster when I saw it too. It's like you can look at it and you're like, oh, like it could be a comedy. Like it's going so different ways like that too. Like it could be satire. It could be a lot. So when I was going through it, so I do agree with Smooth on that one too. It's like what's the tone going to be?
yeah, and I feel like them not getting to Tyrone to the very end was very freaking like on point. Like that was cold. Like to not introduce the character that's in the name of it to the very end, and then you understand his existence and his presence. He's literally just another carbon copy that they
Mm-hmm.
produced, you know what I'm saying, through the presence of the system of the
Mm-hmm.
government itself, and you're
Mm-hmm.
just a carbon copy with a different name somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're literally performing the same role of a drug dealer slash gangster that's, you know what I'm saying, that's life is limited. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die eventually.
Mm.
And they dropped you off in this hood knowing that you're never gonna, and that's probably one of the saddest things about the hood is so many people never leave that area. Like I didn't know it was that bad till I was in LA and I was talking to somebody. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, this is my first time coming up here to downtown. I said, how? I said, what, bro? And he's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And I said, what do you mean? He's like, where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm from off he said somewhere near Compton, but it's not
Mm-hmm.
Compton. And I said, bro, how? How have you never left that area at all? Like to do anything? Like
It's a
you haven't come downtown?
It
Well,
starts
Downtown from him was 7 to 8 miles. I said, bro, you've never traveled 7 to 8 miles?
because
because it
people,
starts here. It
yeah,
starts
you're
here.
stuck in there that you don't belong. You can't do things. Priced and now downtown, like there's a bunch of stuff. That's why, like I said, like the whole generational breeding thing and whitewashing and trying to reprogram people. That's why it was such a difference. And it blew my mind
Mm,
because growing up out here, because growing up in the LA area for me,
mm-hmm.
growing up, I learned about white flight, and it was people moving to the suburbs And it's called white flight because of people who could afford it and everything, and they were like they're going out there to escape everything, to escape downtown. Now it's crazy because it's reverse. And now downtown with gentrification and everything, that's the place to be. They're hiking up all the prices now over there too to get those out. So now before with the white flights reverse, and so now the people who couldn't afford the suburb place like that, they're going all the way out to Palmdale and shit too. People are going back in and putting money in the downtown areas because it's so expensive, and now it's the mindset. So it's like unless you have so if you can't afford to go to a Laker game or see a concert or do all this other stuff like that, it's programming in your head that like you have no business going to downtown. And that's how it is in a lot of these sections, because there's a lot of people who live in New York who never go to Manhattan because because Manhattan it's like that too. It's like downtown LA. It's like a lot of these downtown people where it's like, hey, you can't go there because you can't afford to get there, and and now you go there and you're gonna be in trouble.
It's your mindset. Like, you can only go as far as your mind tells you. So, and this ties into what Frankie's saying. If you have told yourself the only thing you know is this 5 minutes down the street from you, that's what you're going to stay, because that's what your mind. It all starts here. You have to be open to even know that there's a somewhere bigger and greater than where you grew up at. If you look up statistics, I want to say. And don't quote me on this.
Right.
70% of Americans don't move more than 30 minutes away from where they grew up. 70%.
See, I honestly feel like there should be a program, but they're not going to do this because it's against everything that the system wants in and of itself. Is there should be a program where kids are literally given an opportunity to go like way outside the pocket, outside of sports, outside of band, outside of like having to have like some extracurricular thing. Like, just send them somewhere else. Just send them. You know what I'm saying? This city sends their kids there and you send your kids there. You know what I'm saying? Like as a swap, and you go down there maybe over the summer or whatever the program, you know what I'm saying? And it be funded, like government funded. We got the funds to do something like that, and to have it be government funded so these kids can get exposure, so people can like expand their horizons. Because I feel like the best thing that ever happened to me as a person was, and it's gonna sound crazy, was my parents getting a divorce. Because they were divorced, my dad moved to California. And because of that, I ended up riding a plane at like 7 years old. You know what I'm saying? When the average American don't get on a plane till like they're like 19, 20, you know what I'm saying? Or older. You know what I'm saying? So and then I got to see a whole nother state, a whole nother way of life, a whole other like thing. So then I knew this existed. Like, I physically knew it existed. I've been here before. And I was able to live here for a while. Like, it was a thing, you know what I'm saying? And then like constantly like road trips and all that other stuff, like it exposed me to seeing different parts of America, to where I was open to like, yeah, I'll go there. What's the worst I could be there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go check that out. Like, it expanded my mind. And I feel like a lot of kids would benefit from just a program where they could go travel somewhere, get some new information, and be able to like grow from that.
But
you're also blessed to have access to those kind of resources. People in the hood, unfortunately, like when you go in the hood, what do you see on every corner? A liquor store, fast food. That's what they're putting in the hoods. They're not putting in programs like this to help them. And I get what you're saying. You wish it existed, but you're blessed to have access to those kind of resources. Because going back to this premise behind this movie and stuff, the system created so they have to stay stuck in this little box, and every time they try to get out, something happens. Like,
well, well, Frankie, real quick. So I want to say, like, it wasn't that I didn't grow up there or grow up in like those situations. It's just because of that situation, and it allowed my dad into moving back to where he was from. And thus it created a situation where him being an active father allowed me to go out there. Like, it just created a perfect storm. from
But
me in my scenario.
yeah, but that's the thing too. What you said with the scenario that him being ex-brother and the situation forced you to. Unfortunately, even if this program was available to do it, a lot of people I feel would not take it because parents don't want their kids going places. And the thing is, people, and I'll say the best thing for my cousin was joining the military because he had friends that no matter how what he was in with his life and how successful he was, they were always tearing him down.
Mm.
And so it wasn't until so it wasn't until, and that's the thing. So, and he got his car, he went to college, he was doing stuff, and it's even funny because even after that, joining the military, doing stuff, they try to tear him down and say, "Oh, money changed you," and this and that, and it's like, no, he works his ass off to get what he wants and to do what he wants to do. And I think unfortunately that's other things too, because I know like Sebastian's mom's same thing too. It's like anytime she tries to freaking get healthy and work out and do things, they're like, oh, why are you doing that? You're unhealthy, you can't do that. Unfortunately, people like tearing people down. So doing something to broaden your horizon and see something different, unfortunately, people will tear you down. And even if it was a government program, like unless you mandate it, a lot of people they want to take advantage of it, except for the people who, guess what, who probably don't need it as much as people who do. They'll use it because guess what? They're not tearing people down.
Yep, that's also real. That's all. That is so true, and that's why.
Yeah.
This goes back to, and we can get into this conversation another day. But like these rappers who die because they go back to the hood, and you can't go back to the surroundings once you get out because unfortunately there's haters there, and once you elevate and once you make it out, stay away. And so sometimes people do get those opportunities and they fall back into that trap because they're like, oh, they're tired of people talking about them or calling them acting white and stuff like that.
Yeah, remember we talked about that earlier, like in the way beginning days of this podcast, where we go around where it's like people get mad because someone leaves the hood, and it's like, oh, and then they're like, oh, they didn't get back. And sometimes you can get back, sometimes you can't get back, and you have to realize that sometimes maybe you can't help your direct hood, but you can help other people to get out of the situation. So then eventually that will go away. But we fall into people, they fall into the trap. And I remember there was other people on this podcast that they were like that too, because they were saying segregation was, was good. And I'm like, good. So, but then Eli Crane, Elijah Crane, from that Arizona freaking congressman.
Yeah.
Remember, he doesn't like diversity either. So there's people out there that they actively try to stop it.
Yeah, nah, man, I agree with you.
Hey, if you're someone that craves vibes when it comes to music, like I do, you need to check out Rose Petals. Rose Petals is a 12-track R&B album by yours truly, Farrah Michelle, and it just dropped. It's available right now on all major digital outlets. I'm personally inviting you to come and vibe with me through music. Let me know what you think. Shout out to the home team with Kosher Sound, and you already know we're supporting and watching Homeroom with Smooth. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, y'all can tap in with her Farrah Michelle and her album. Her link is in the description down below. But anyway, so we're on the topic of music. Drake. Let's talk about Drake and his concert series. All right. So Drake, George looking at me like I like the worst human being ever. So but anyway,
you already laughed. You got the giggles.
I know. Yeah, I had I had some nice drink. But anyway, so let's get into this Drake video, man. Okay, let's try and get this on a lighter note here. All right.
Oh shit! What the fuck? 36 L. How many letters does it go up to? There's another one over there that looks really good. We'll talk about it later. I gotta talk to you first. This is crazy. This can't be real. This is not real. State your name immediately. Nah, this is custom work right here. Oh, this is a 42H. Another 42H. But I'm not gonna lie, we got a real record holder in the bed. Y'all just want to do girls on stage. Can we get that? The girls are just the biggest niggas in the world. All right, enough. It's not a section of freaks. I can't see Drake before. Y'all asking this fun. I just want to stand up and break up around the way I ask my purpose. Maybe I should start an OnlyFans where I just look you guys.
What the fuck?
There's one thing I want to do before we continue. That's all right.
All right. So what do y'all think of the record holder of the 36L?
I mean, I know who the person is, so I can't like. More power to her.
That's crazy. That's a lot of titties.
I've seen them in person. They actually are that big. So she
like,
didn't just go buy a bra and throw it up there. Like she's actually that big.
So question, Shar. So if I go out,
She did that. Go ahead.
Can you start like a meeting with us? Because I want to see this 36L now. Like if I make it out there,
I need to see you for myself.
Field trip.
I'll just say it's a small world. And she's a huge Drake fan, and it paid off.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
She said she got to meet Drake, and he's really nice. She said he's really nice. And they took shots together. She got to party with him. That's what's up.
Hey, yeah, that's a dub. That's a dub. That's a W. That's a W in my book. You know what I'm saying? Big W. Man, 36 fucking like, cause if she threw a bra, that means she had like her titties were just full back support from then, like the rest of the show.
I don't
like,
know. I don't know the whole details. I don't know if this is a second bra she brought with her. I don't know the details, but
well, I'm pretty sure someone would have been helping her hold that to save her back. That's all I'm saying.
Man, like she got to sit one on one head and one on the other head. Like she got two people in front of her just. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, she's definitely pretty geeked about it. So
pretty chesty.
Boy, man. So are y'all gonna go to a Drake show? Because I know I'm going to the last one in Columbus, Ohio.
I went to a Drake concert years ago, like 2011, for the Take Care tour. Mm-hmm. Now I am a Drake fan, but I'm not pressed to really go to his concerts like that. I've
never been to one.
Okay. I mean, it was a very good concert, but it's just not one. Okay. I'll put it to you this way. I'm a very, very, very big Drake fan, and I haven't really been a fan of his albums ever since Take Care. I like his mixtapes. Take Care is my favorite album by him. And I haven't really been a fan of the work he's been coming out with enough to go to a concert. So that's why I'm not really pressed.
Okay.
I'm going to be out of town when he's in LA. Not sure if I was going to go anyway. Just people who are more rap and hip hop. I know for me personally, I'm not as big a fan as their concerts. Because I think the last one I saw was actually was Kanye and what was it? It was Kanye and Jay-Z. Yeah.
Jay-Z. Okay.
Yeah. In Paris. Where,
yeah.
They had that encore that went on forever. So I was like, oh gosh, which was fucking crazy and it was lit. So like I'm glad I went. But other than that, because I think sometimes they don't really
you live the life, boy.
They don't really do enough differently to make it worth my while. And that's just me personally, and that's compared to other concerts I've been to with other genres. But I think that's because other genres, they give you a little bit more to freestyle with and free flow and do more stuff outside the confines. But that, and I'm not young, because I think when I was younger, I was like all about hip hop rap concerts and everything like that too.
Mhm.
But then, and I think for me, it's because like now I go to concert, like I don't need to be down on the floor. I just want to be there, enjoy the music, enjoy the people. So I think maybe that's that's some of the magic of hip hop concerts too.
Yeah, I'm not going to the floor. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not. I'm gonna get some nice seats. I'm gonna watch Drake perform, and I'm gonna leave that concert. That's it. That's it. I'm a responsible adult now. I'm a grown ass man. I'm not gonna be out there bumping shoulders with some 19, 18-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, I know.
Yeah, you can barely see. You have no seat. Like, everybody gets hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I said I do have like when I go to crypto and I see concerts though, I have like this perfect seat where it's like I want to say for like a basketball game, it's like in like the premiere section, but it's even when the person that stands up in front of me, I'm high enough so I'm just sitting down and chilling that, so I'm in the back so I could just chill there, and I get that every concert anytime I go to. So I'm like, like that's what I do, because I'm like, no, you can stand up, you're not in my way, don't have to worry about me, because I'm here, give me my drink.
Okay, off the air, you're gonna have to share that sauce, bro. I need that. I need that sauce. I need that sauce. You know what I'm saying? I got some things planned. You know what I'm saying? I got some things planned. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. You're my number one. No play. But anyway, no, I'm so cap. I'm so cap. So
Sorry, you didn't catch that. You didn't catch that, Char.
Nah, she didn't catch that at all. Char didn't catch that at all.
I'm sorry, I'm getting a little sleepy. I definitely didn't catch
all
that.
right,
I see. I know when Char gets sleepy, because she starts just staring into the camera, like, and it's like this awkward ass stare, and I'm like, nigga, blink. Like, you really trying to not go to sleep over there? Like, nigga tired as hell.
Like that.
I've been watching it for years, dude. Like, it's the same. It's the same every time. It just, like, all of a sudden, like, you go from smiling to like this blank ass face, and then you're just no blinking, like just
like, she's smiling, and she's like,
yep.
Oh my god.
All right, y'all. So look, if you made it to this point in the video, I need you to like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Share it.
We do this and share it, okay? And it's every Wednesday and Saturday without fail. It will be there. We are there all the time, unless previously notified that we are going to make a change. Yes, yeah. Life happens. Okay, life happens. We are human beings. All right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to monetization. You know what I'm saying? We cooking. We cooking. We there. And yeah, that's it. That's all I gotta say. You guys got anything you guys wanna say before we wrap up here?
I'm going to see Beyonce on Saturday.
Hey,
actually, I think my friend is actually Small World. I think she's gonna go see, because she lives out in DC area.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna go see Beyonce on Saturday too.
Okay. Yeah, she has a Saturday and a Sunday show this weekend. So
yeah, so I will go ask her and tell her like, yo, actually, she might want to come on the podcast.
Okay, slide her through, bro. We're an open forum.
So all I'll say is I appreciate you guys, not only my panel right here, but also the people listening. I appreciate all you guys. Be kind to each other. Be safe, and remember, someone's out there for you. So you're not going through shit alone.
Yes, that's very true. I agree.
Yep. Everyone deserves love. All right. So yeah, y'all have a good one. We're out of here.